So welcome everyone. It's the 25th of August, just gone midday. Unfortunately, yet again, we are really not able to trade safely. Now, the last 2 days, we have traded on just 2 pairs. Now, it is, as I said at the beginning of each session, it is more risky. I might as well open up my video so you can see me. Hey, so it is more risky, and some of you did take fifth entry losses, and some of you are hurting pretty badly. However, you know, and this is just what can happen. I'm up 7.38% yesterday and 5.68 in the earlier session. Now, what I did do is I did actually take a double fifth to recover and then a third level. So to recover a fifth entry loss, you need a double fifth and a third level. Okay. And that's what I did. So I recovered. Now, I appreciate some of you are down. Maybe you only took the one. Now, again, I didn't say take a double. So that's down to me. So some of you are down probably around 18% from the last session if you did take that fifth and won it. What I want to do during this session as we're waiting, I'm just clicking the refresh every so often too, as we're waiting to see if we get any tradable pairs. I want to just go through with you some ways of recovering. Now, first thing to understand, the best way to recover is the slow way. What I mean by that is just, again, using 1% of your account and trading back up again. Now, it does take time. I appreciate that, especially if you're down, like Eddie, for example, I think is down 70%. That hurts. That's awful. That's hard. I have been there many times before. And you know what? You can recover that in a week if we get a good run. And if we get the flipping ability to trade, that's what's so frustrating at the moment. It's our inability to trade that is really hurting us. Now, you can also trade with slightly higher than your 1%. So for example, here I'm at 13,700, just out of a matter of interest. I just looked back a month ago, exactly on the 26th of July, I was at 3,693. So 3,700 a month ago. So I'm actually up 10,000, nearly 300% in the month. You know, and considering, you know, how few sessions we've actually had, that is not bad for a month. Okay, so what I would do sometimes is I might say, okay, I'm going to give it, you know, maybe 50% more. So I would go in at maybe 200. So in other words, I'm going in at 1.5 times my initial balance. So what this does is it gives me that extra little bit each trading session without risking too much. If I went in at 2 times and I took a fifth, then I'm potentially wiped out. So don't go too high. Maximum 1.5 times.
I know as well, if you go much more than 1.3 or 1.4, you can't take 2/5 at the same time, can you?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the other thing to keep in mind. So be aware of that also, that you cannot take a double fifth recovery. And I probably wouldn't until my account is up high enough anyway. But yeah, be aware of that. and just slowly build up. Now I would probably leave it at the 20 for a good while until I'm up to, say, 18,000, and then increase it again, and just slowly build up until you are back to where you were when you took the original loss. So it's a decreasing amount as you're going along there. Now, the other thing we can do is we can, when we feel we have a really good setup, we can take deeper level trades. So starting at second, third, all the way up to a fifth. Now, to take a fifth, you need to be really, really sure. And it is really what I call the Hail Mary. You know, I mean, what I took earlier on was a Hail Mary. If I had lost that double fifth, I was basically down to less than 10% of my account. So I was risking it all. But I actually did feel confident there. To take a fifth, I would usually only do it on a ideally an orange arrow, where you have the MBFX literally on the bottom screaming. The value charts are agreeing. They are, you know, way oversold as well, or up, one or the other. And where it's in the orange, it's up against this SHI. You know, all of these things you're trying to pack in. So in other words, as many of the indicators are screaming yes. For example, here, it wasn't quite all out, but very nearly. This candle was almost fully outside the Bollinger Band. That would have been a good one, you know, for a recovery trade. Where you see that, I think I spoke about it yesterday, didn't I? These candles. Now again, the tail was inside, so not an ideal, but as you can see, it did actually reverse that minute or the next minute. But these are the sort of things you're looking for to have an ideal recovery. Look at that video I posted earlier on, where I go through this as well in detail, and just understand how it works and what you're looking for. You know, this, if I was to take a recovery, I'd be looking for maybe a second level maximum, because the MBFX is not high enough. Okay, and also the curve of the holy channel is going upwards. So I wouldn't really be looking to take a recovery, in other words, a deeper level trade on this particular candle. It would be a little too risky for me. But if you look at it, it is, see how it was bouncing up and down there for ages. Have your heart in your mouth while doing it. Yeah, James mentioned how he felt his heart beating. Oh, I tell you, James, get used to that when trading with me. We are going to have those moments where you can literally feel your heart thumping as you're waiting for that minute. And those minutes, do they not last forever? On the fifth entry, you're just going, oh, please, 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 please. And you learn some really interesting things about yourself and your emotions while you trade here. But one of the important things you need to learn as a trader is patience, is knowing how to wait for the correct entry. Now, normally you'll see what I do is, you know, if I take a third entry loss, you'll see me waiting for the turnaround. Okay, and then I'll take the next entry. I'm waiting for that signal that yes, it's given up and it's going to head back up to regain strength or whatever. So being patient is really important. Now, I don't always get it right. For some of you, I didn't get it right this morning. I got it right for myself, but for whatever reason, some of you, it didn't work out for. I think it was because I won and you lost in one of the early ones. So you were going in that little bit deeper and you had to take your fifth before me. And that's what hurt you. And the same happened yesterday, I think. And that is one of the problems with trading the 1 minute charts together. You know, we are literally talking about milliseconds. And if you are a second or two behind me, that may be enough to either win or lose. You know, there are plenty of times when I lose because I went in that fraction of a second early, maybe, and you win because you got a better entry point than me. There are times when I will tie and you will either win or lose. Now you need to know and be aware of what's happening in your own trading to know what to do. If I tie, I will go back in at the same level again. Okay. Now sometimes I may click a bit too early and go in at a deeper level. You know, I may presume I'm going to lose and be ready to enter the next trade, and then suddenly price drops or goes up or whatever, and you tie. That can work in your favor because, you know, when you do win, after that, you obviously have an extra bonus. But if price keeps going against you, then, you know, you end up getting into trouble much faster, and it's not good. I missed that bit, Mikey, about and the religion. I'm not sure what reference that was to what I was saying, but yeah, look, really, all I can say to you all is I've been doing this for over 7 years. I'm losing track, to be honest, how long I've been doing it. Oh yeah, you learn a lot about yourself, your emotions, and your religion. Yes, that's right, you do. But I hope it makes everyone stronger as individuals when trading with me, as you learn more about yourself and control of your emotions. And really, one thing you have to learn is that self-control, okay? And learning how to take losses. And as a hypnotherapist, I think it makes me a better trader because I understand how we are triggered. And one thing you have to understand about loss for modern man, and I've mentioned this before, is that we are triggered, as far as money is concerned, to feel pain. Now that's usually emotional. Some people, funnily enough, actually feel physical pain. And that's not good. I work with clients. In fact, this morning I was working with a client who has cancer, and what we've discovered is she converts emotional pain into physical pain. And I've been breaking that link. And again, with trading, going back to it again, you need to learn how to control your emotions. And one of the big things you need to learn to accept is loss. Okay, the killer for most people is the thing called revenge trading. I hate you, Aussie USD. I'm going to show you. And you go in when you shouldn't, and you take a deeper trade, kamikaze trading. Yeah. So you're literally going crazy. Now, you could accuse me of doing that this morning. However, I really was feeling confident enough to take that double fifth.
The fact that you didn't mention it to us shows that you knew it was a bit on that side of things.
Oh yeah,
I think.
yeah. I mean, it is. I suppose you have to forgive me for doing it that way, but you also have to understand the pressures that are on me.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, when you take a loss and I win, I still feel so awful. I do take it personally, and again, it's something I have to deal with and learn to let go of, because I'm very much aware that this is your money and it really is important for you. Now, I do ask that nobody trades money they cannot afford to lose, but I know that some of you do still. But please, please do not fall into that trap of emotional trading, okay? Let it go. What I can assure you is that over the medium to long term, now I'm talking about weeks to months, my system does work, okay? And you will make money. Now, some of you may be unfortunate and blow your accounts. Tanielle gave a typical example of how she blew 3 accounts before finally making good profit and recovering it. Now, one other person did mention about, you know, the benefit of taking regular withdrawals, and there is that to it as well. What I do say though is, you know, for the beginners, try and double your account first, okay? Take out the profit, leave the original balance and your bonus, if you took a bonus, and your original deposit and the bonus, and trade that again. And then build it up slowly, but keep taking small amounts as well to reward yourself. So let's say in a week you make 1,000, take 500, okay, as a reward. And then you still have that extra 500 working for you, and build it up bit by bit until you've got it to a point where it is making you a reasonable income per week. Now, what reasonable is for you may be different for me. For example, this week already I'm up 3,500, I think it is. No, 2,500. Yeah, I'm up 2,500 nearly. No, 2,400. Okay, that's not bad for 3 days. You know, it's not bad at all. And we've only had 1 session each day.
I was going to say that's the thing. It's the lack of trading that actually makes it look worse and whatever.
Absolutely. So, you know, consider that. I could have been up 2,400 each day at least. So technically speaking, I could be up already over 6,000 for the week and still another 2 days to go. So, and, you know, I started the week at 11,292. So you don't need a huge account in order to make a lot of money. But you also must be aware that, you know, there will be days or weeks when you can't take any money because you took a 5th level loss and are in the process of recovering. The only thing I can say to you, though, is that even without doing recovery trades, you know, a 5th entry loss, we can recover usually within 2 days if we get the opportunity to trade it. Let's say within 6 trading sessions, we can recover a 5th entry loss without having to go deep. Okay, so although I'm talking about recovery trading, I do want you to understand that you don't have to do it, and just be patient and it will come to you, you know. Yeah, so going back, the safest way of recovering is actually by still using the 1% of your balance, or at most 1.5, at best 1.2 to 1.3. Okay, and that will help you just recover that little bit faster. But do not get greedy. Okay, greed will kill you. I promise you, it'll kill you. And I've learned that lesson the hard way many times myself. So don't fall into that trap. Just be calm and let it come to you. The market's not going anywhere. And, you know, the last 2 sessions, I pushed it to the edge by trading with just 2 pairs. And you could see the trouble that it got us into, because we did end up going to the 5th on each session. And now it worked out for me. It didn't for several of you. And it's you know, going to be a long, slow slog back for some of you. But you will get there. That I can guarantee you. Now, as I said, I'm up 300% in the month. And I don't think I did any recovery trading at all in the last 4 weeks. So it was just simple trading. Let's quickly count how many actual sessions we had. 1, 2, 3. Actually, interestingly enough, on the 26th, my first session, I took a big loss, 61.95. So my account from 10 o'clock on the 26th was at 1,405. So, you know, we could also just take a look at that. 1,405. Wow, I'm nearly up 10 times in the month. If you excluded that first loss. So 1,405 to where are we? 13.
So have you ever had any issues withdrawing like a large amount of money from Binary Cent, or what was the largest amount that you have withdrawn?
No, I've not had issues. Okay, so obviously they go through the usual rigmarole, but I think, I mean, in fairness, they know me. You know, I've got a really good relationship, and I don't have the issues like I don't have a dynamic IP and all of those sort of things. So I haven't had those issues. But, you know, some people have been put through the ringer to get their money out. But everyone who is due it gets it. Yeah, I'm up 974% in the month. If you look at from my lowest at 1,400 to now. So yeah, wow. That is, it's not just 300%, it's actually 970%. I'm up, Mikey. But even if it was only 300 plus, it's still good. Yeah, I mean, if I took it 13,707 divided by 3,693. Yeah, it's 370%. But after I took that 61% loss, it's nearly 10 times. So yeah, the system works, guys. Okay, the system works. Just trust it. That's all I'm trying to say, and it will work for you. Some of you, through either not following the rules or through simple bad luck, and it can be as basic as that, bad luck, you know, may end up in trouble or even blow your account. But, you know, I'm crossing all my fingers here. We will get you back. Eddie says, if he can recover, so can we. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, going back to withdrawals. Yeah, if you have any issues with withdrawals, just come to me and I will work on helping you. I did have somebody message me yesterday to say that he got a message from them to say they did a security check and they have closed his account. I'm trying to find out the exact reason why. The usual reason is different IPs or something weird going on. But I'm trying to find out the reason so I can share it with you as to why they do that. But as I've mentioned before, they are really hot on security, and they do all the security checks when you request a withdrawal to make sure that there's no shenanigans, whatever that might be. But as soon as I found out, he said, my guy did say he's emailed the finance department to find out exactly what the reason was and will let me know. But we are still waiting. This morning he said he still hasn't got an update on why. And he says again tomorrow he's booked another call with the relevant department to talk about the percentages. So, you know, they are working on it. I'm trying to get it sorted. We're not asking for much. We just want 3 pairs that we can trade on average a session, and we'll be happy. Okay, any questions before we finish up? I have another hypnosis client in the next 3 minutes, so we may have to close off shortly.
I'll not ask you now then, but just for next time, I know the arrows are sort of your proprietary and sort of secrets, formulas and whatever. At some point, we'll just go over like how strong each arrow is for, like, is a red one better than a yellow one, better than a green, yellow, sort of that sort of thing.
Sorry, ask me that once more.
Sorry. I know the arrows on your charts are sort of your secret formula and all that. And I don't want you to disclose that.
Yeah.
However, what I would, if I'm thinking of getting the software myself and having a little play, how do I know whether a green's better than a blue, than a turquoise?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me explain them as much as I can without giving too much away. The yellow is very simple. The yellow is triggered when the value chart goes to minus 1.75 or plus 1.75. Okay. All that's doing is saying, hey, Angus, just be aware, according to the value chart, I'm overbought or oversold. Okay. So that's that one. I don't trade them, but if you look, they're pretty good generally. Okay. When they're triggered, quite often price does reverse. Now, you just have to be a little careful. It may trigger, and then like this one, price shoots back up. You see that? So it was triggered here, and then you see how it finished the minute above the minus 1.25,
basically.
So I would ignore that myself generally. As it happens, it did win on the following few candles, but I would generally ignore it. Yes, Keith, we can, no problem. Then we have, after the yellow, it goes navy blue, magenta, and then orange. Now, what's mixed up with them is RSI, MR moving average, the MBFX, and a couple of other indicators. So when they are all in the, and I have them at different percentages, so it's graded, let's say 75, 85, and then 95. I can't honestly remember because it was quite a few years ago. I designed those ones originally. So it's just giving me, I'm strong, I'm stronger, I'm strongest. Okay, and the orange is the one you'll usually see me trade on.
Sorry, what was the middle one there? I got navy blue and then the orange.
Navy, magenta, that's the pink looking one. The one I'm circling here.
Ah, yeah, fab, cheers.
Okay, and then orange. Orange is the strongest. Now, the red and green are totally different algorithms that are running them, okay? It's not simply based on indicators. It's a bit like an AI type system. And that one I'm not telling you.
No worries. If we were to trade without you, we just ignore those, or would they? Or is it a sign that you should go in? Or
these ones? Yeah, I mean, you can trade on them. I mean,
no, the red or green ones.
the red or green ones, yeah, you can trade those, but just be aware that, you know, sometimes they're not perfect either. And, you know, I may get an indicator here, for example, and, you know, the MBFX is in the middle, and I'd say, you know what, guys, I'm just not comfortable with that. I think we'll wait. Now, quite often it wins. And I'm scratching my head saying, how the hell did it work that out? But it saw something obviously I didn't. But also there are times when, you know, we get a signal and it carries on down, 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 you know, until it literally, the MBFX is bottomed out before it recovers. So it's not perfect. I would say it's about 85 to 90% perfect, but not 100, okay? And no indicator ever is. You know, if there was the perfect indicator, then we'd all use it. And the reason it's not perfect is because, you know, you've got literally millions of different people all around the world trading. And then you've got the banks and institutions. And everybody's looking at their own charts, their own reason for entering or exiting a trade. You know, those on the 1 hour and the 30 minutes are looking at something quite different from what we are looking at. And, you know, price maybe, you know, those on say the 5 or 15 minute may be pushing price to a different zone than we're looking at. And that's why sometimes we get a waterfall, what I describe as a waterfall, where it's just price ignores all of the indicators, even the orange one. And that's when the institutions are piling in, and they are putting in literally billions to move price to a particular point. Remember, there's $6.6 trillion traded every day in the markets. That's a huge amount of money. And you know, when those billions are being poured in, you know, we're just ants. We're just going along for the ride. Now, Elise, as I've always mentioned, is the expert at identifying those points where institutions are messing with us. And I really mean messing. They're taking our money. I mean, look at a typical example, you know, going back to brokers. Those of us who are in Manifest, and most here are, look what, you know, LCM have done to us. And it's been proven now, because we've now got both AIs, identical AIs running on the two different brokers. And so far, the last 2 days, the return on CFX PE has been 7 times the return on LCMFX PE.
Is that over both days as well?
Both days, yeah, I
hell.
checked both days. So, you know, instead of making 85% or whatever it was, 82% over the last 4.5 months since the end of March, that's on the MyFX book, we should technically be up, if we were trading with CFX, nearly 600%. Big difference. Big difference. And thankfully, you know, Josh and Jimmy have found a broker who isn't into messing with us. You know, I do feel sorry for the two guys, because they did genuinely believe that LCMFX were going to treat us fairly and as an 8-book client. They obviously patently didn't. They lied through their rear ends and basically stole our profits. Steve, I believe some people actually have and had no problem withdrawing. Yeah. Okay, guys, time's up. I must go. Just to say to you, and did you have any problems, Narelle? Narelle's saying he was able to withdraw from CFX.
No, I've had no dramas at all. I tried like pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Great.
no dramas at all.
Wonderful. Excellent. Yeah, I'm getting back really good reports. Okay, guys, thank you for that. I hope you found this education session rather than trading session of value to you. And
Yeah, Fab, thank you, mate.
You're welcome. And fingers crossed, we can trade again tomorrow. I appreciate it, Mikey. I love it when you say I'm a legend. My head swells dramatically. But look, folks, you know, good times are ahead. I firmly believe that, whether with me or with Manifest, those of you who are in it, we are on the right road. And I know, you know, Jimmy has other things in store for us as well. And Josh, both of them. So, you know, hang in there, and it's early days yet. And, you know, as I say to everyone, in 2 years' time, we'll all be laughing as we're on the, you know, the private yachts parting. That is my hope and prayer for all of us. Okay, speak to you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Or I'll see you on the Manifest session if you're going to join me there. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye for now.